Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video we are going to explore something really interesting and exciting. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. Imagine holding a piece of American history in your hand, something that has traveled through decades, seen the rise and fall of trends, and survived the test of time. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar coin is one of those objects. While it may seem like just another piece of pocket change, this coin is far from ordinary. In fact, it's a symbol of a transformative era in U.S. history, and today, we'll explore everything that makes the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar so remarkable. From its iconic design to its incredible collector appeal, and of course, the impressive value that makes collectors' jaws drop, this coin is more than meets the eye. Let's begin by delving into the historical context behind the Kennedy half-dollar. This coin, first introduced in 1964, was created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, who was tragically assassinated in 1963. His death sent shockwaves through the nation, and the American people sought a way to honor him. The idea to create a commemorative coin was born, and the Kennedy half-dollar was quickly conceived, designed by renowned artist Gilroy. The obverse side of the coin features a portrait of John F. Kennedy, which was based on a photograph taken by the famous photographer, Cecil Stoughton. This portrait of Kennedy captures his youthful yet determined expression, and it remains one of the most iconic images on U.S. currency. Surrounding Kennedy's image are the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of minting, which in this case, is 1972. The reverse side of the Kennedy half-dollar is equally significant. It features the Great Seal of the United States, showing an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows in its talons. Above the eagle is a banner reading E Pluribus Unum, which translates to "out of many, one." This design was also created by Gilroy, and it has become a hallmark of the coin. The reverse is a fitting representation of the strength, unity, and resilience that America embodied in the wake of Kennedy's death. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is part of a larger series that has remained in production for over 5 decades. However, despite being minted for so many years, there's something unique about the 1972 issue that sets it apart. Understanding why this coin holds such collector appeal requires a look at the details of its minting process. In 1972, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Kennedy half-dollars, making it one of the more common years for the coin in circulation. But not all 1972 half-dollars are created equal. One of the key factors that make this coin stand out is its particular minting process and the quality of the strikes. The 1972 half-dollar was struck using a special method known as the proof strike, which creates coins with a mirror-like finish. These proof coins were sold to collectors and were never intended for general circulation. The quality of the strike is what makes certain 1972 Kennedy half-dollars highly desirable, particularly for collectors who focus on acquiring coins in pristine condition. But let's take it a step further. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is also known for some rare and fascinating mint errors. A mint error occurs when a coin is struck incorrectly during the production process, and these errors can significantly increase the value of the coin. In the case of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, collectors are on the lookout for errors such as double dies, where the coin appears to have 2 impressions of the design, or coins with off-center strikes, where the image is misaligned. These mint errors are highly coveted by collectors because they make a coin unique and can drastically increase its worth. One of the most famous examples of a rare 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is the 1972 double die obverse coin. This coin features a clear, visible doubling of the inscriptions and design elements, particularly the word "Liberty" and the date, 1972. This type of error is extremely rare, and when these coins are found, they can fetch astonishing prices at auction. In fact, depending on the severity of the doubling and the condition of the coin, some 1972 double die coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, making them some of the most sought-after pieces in numismatic circles. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar even more special from a collector's perspective. Despite being a regular issue coin that was widely circulated in 1972, the Kennedy half-dollar carries significant sentimental value for many Americans. John F. Kennedy was a beloved president, and his legacy as a symbol of hope, progress, and unity still resonates today. The half-dollar serves as a constant reminder of his brief but impactful time in office and the era of the 1960s, a time of social change, civil rights advancements, and space exploration. Because of this, many people collect Kennedy half-dollars not just for their rarity or their value but because of the historical connection they provide. It's a coin that connects people to a moment in time, a moment that forever altered the course of American history. The 1972 issue, with its strong connection to the 1960s and early 1970s, holds a special place in the hearts of those who lived through that time and those who admire that era from a historical perspective. As for the current value of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, the coin's worth can vary dramatically depending on its condition, rarity, and any unique features. The typical 1972 half-dollar, in average circulated condition, is worth around its face value of 50 cents. However, if you're lucky enough to find a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in near mint or mint condition, its value could increase significantly. Coins that have been preserved well. The true excitement begins when we dive into the realm of rare coins, especially those with mint errors or unique characteristics. A 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with a double die error, for example, can sell for anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000, depending on the quality and severity of the error. This is where the magic of coin collecting happens, uncovering a rare treasure that holds significant value due to its rarity and condition. But here's the big reveal: the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is not just valuable in small increments. In fact, some of the most exceptional examples of the coin, especially those with rare mint errors or in perfect proof condition, have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. One 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with a double die obverse error sold for an incredible $185,000 at a recent auction, setting a record for the highest price ever paid for a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Imagine holding a coin that's worth over $185,000. It's a staggering amount, especially when you consider that the coin's face value is only 50 cents. This example highlights just how much a coin's rarity, condition, and historical significance can impact its value. It's not just about the metal content, it's about the story, the connection to history, and the unique characteristics that make each coin special. So, how can you get your hands on a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar that could potentially be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? The key is to keep an eye out for rare errors, proof coins, and well-preserved examples. Visit coin shops, attend auctions, and scour through rolls of coins to find hidden gems. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and with a bit of patience and knowledge, you could stumble upon a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar that could change your life. In conclusion, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar coin is far more than just a piece of currency. It's a piece of American history, a tribute to a beloved president, and a valuable collector's item. Whether you're drawn to the coin for its historical significance, its iconic design, or its incredible potential value, there's no denying that the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. numismatics. And with rare examples fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's clear that this small coin can pack a powerful punch when it comes to value. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar coin is more than just a piece of currency, it's a symbol of American history, a work of art, and a fascinating collectible. When we look at the Kennedy half-dollar, we're not just looking at a coin, but at a piece of a story that spans decades, reflecting both the nation's triumphs and tragedies. The 1973 version of this coin is particularly intriguing, as it marks a point in the long legacy of the Kennedy series. To understand its significance, we must first journey back to the early 1960s, when the Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated, leaving the nation in mourning. As the country grappled with the loss of its young and dynamic leader, a decision was made to honor him through the design of a new coin. The United States Mint announced that a half-dollar coin would be struck in Kennedy's image, symbolizing his legacy and providing a tangible reminder of his presidency. The idea was to have the coin in circulation by 1964, the year following his death, but the process was more complicated than anticipated. The design took time to finalize, but once it was completed, the new coin quickly became a symbol of both the grief and pride the nation felt following the assassination of its young president. The initial design of the Kennedy half-dollar, created by the renowned sculptor Gilroy depicted a left-facing bust of President Kennedy on the obverse, and a modified rendition of the Great Seal of the United States on the reverse. The design was chosen to capture the elegance and youthfulness of Kennedy, while also reflecting the seriousness of his legacy. The reverse featured the eagle of the Great Seal, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, signifying peace and strength, a fitting tribute to Kennedy's vision for a better world. However, there were some interesting twists to the coin's production during the early years. While the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar was meant to be composed of 90% silver, the coin underwent several changes in composition in the years that followed, largely due to the rising costs of silver and concerns about the diminishing supply. By the time the 1973 coin was produced, the Kennedy half-dollar had undergone a transition to a 40% silver content. This shift, while still maintaining some level of silver in the coin, also made it more affordable to produce. 1973 itself was a year of significant change in America, with the country navigating political and social upheaval in the wake of the Vietnam War and Watergate scandal. The Kennedy half-dollar, minted during this time, stands as a reflection of that turbulent period in U.S. history, representing both the enduring impact of Kennedy's presidency and the ongoing challenges facing the nation. As a result, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin, it's a time capsule, a silent witness to history. Collectors have long been fascinated by the Kennedy half-dollar, and for good reason. Over the years, the coin has been produced in a number of different variations, including proof coins, uncirculated coins, and special commemorative issues. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is part of the regular circulation series, but it still holds significance for those who are passionate about numismatics. For collectors, there's something special about the design and the history behind the coin. It's a reminder of a time when the United States was experiencing both triumph and tragedy, and the coin's role in the country's economic and cultural landscape only adds to its allure beyond its historical context. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is also valuable to collectors for its rarity and condition. While millions of these coins were produced and circulated, only a select few have survived in pristine condition, making those examples highly sought after. Coins that are in excellent condition, such as those with no visible wear or scratches, are particularly prized by collectors. In fact, certain examples of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar have been known to sell for thousands of dollars, particularly if they were struck as proof coins or have been graded highly by professional numismatists. But perhaps the most exciting part of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar story is its potential value on the market today. While most of the coins in circulation may not be worth more than their face value of 50 cents, certain rare examples can fetch impressive prices. The value of these coins is determined by a variety of factors, including rarity, condition, and the current demand among collectors. As of today, one particularly rare and well-preserved 1973 Kennedy half-dollar coin has been valued at an astonishing $180,000. This coin, in its exceptional condition, is a testament to the importance of preserving these pieces of history and the incredible value that they can hold over time. How does a single coin reach such a high value? It all comes down to a combination of rarity and condition. There are many factors that contribute to a coin's value, but condition is by far one of the most important. A coin that has been well preserved and has minimal wear and tear will be far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated or damaged. Coins like the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar that have been kept in mint condition, carefully stored away in protective cases, or graded by professional organizations, have a much higher chance of reaching impressive values like $180,000. So, what makes the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar so special among all the coins in circulation that year? It's a combination of factors: its unique historical context, its place within the broader story of the Kennedy half-dollar series, and the particular condition and rarity of certain specimens. With its intriguing design, the historical significance tied to President Kennedy, and the potential for immense value, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a remarkable coin in both the numismatic world and the wider cultural landscape. If you've ever come across a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar in your pocket change, it's worth taking a closer look. While it may not be worth $180,000 on its own, it's always possible that a rare, well-preserved specimen could turn out to be more valuable than you ever expected. So, keep an eye out for those Kennedy half-dollars, because one day, you could be holding onto a piece of history that is worth far more than just 50 cents. In conclusion, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is far more than just a coin. It's a powerful reminder of American history, an example of beautiful coin design, and a valuable asset for collectors. Whether you're just beginning your numismatic journey or you're an experienced collector, the Kennedy half-dollar has a place in your collection. And who knows, perhaps the next one you find could be worth $180,000. Remember to always keep an eye on the coins in your pocket, because you never know when you might stumble upon something truly priceless. And as you continue exploring the fascinating world of coins, don't forget the story behind each one, because history is often right in your hands, waiting to be discovered. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar coin stands as a monumental piece in American numismatic history, blending both significant historical context and remarkable artistry. It's a coin that represents not just the legacy of one of America's most iconic presidents but also a time of great cultural change and reflection. To truly understand the value and significance of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, we need to take a closer look at the period in which it was minted, the story behind its design, and what makes this coin such a fascinating collectible today. Let's begin by stepping back into the 1960s. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated in Dallas, Texas, leaving the nation in mourning. The American public, shaken by the sudden loss of a charismatic and promising leader, wanted a way to memorialize Kennedy's legacy. 1 year after his death, the U.S. Mint introduced a new coin, the Kennedy half-dollar, as a tribute to the fallen president. The design of the coin, created by renowned artist Gilroy was meant to capture the strength and elegance of the late president, showcasing a left-facing bust of Kennedy on the obverse. On the reverse, the Great Seal of the United States was depicted, with the eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, representing the nation's commitment to both peace and strength. For over a decade, the Kennedy half-dollar was minted with a 90% silver composition, reflecting the high value of silver in American currency. However, by the mid-1960s, the price of silver had risen significantly, leading to a shift in the composition of the coin. In 1965, the mint began using a 40% silver composition in order to reduce costs while still honoring the coin's original purpose. By the time the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar was released, it was composed of 40% silver and 60% copper, marking a permanent change in the coin's metal makeup. The year 1976 was of particular significance to the United States. The country was celebrating its bicentennial, 200 years of independence since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. As part of the celebrations, many coins, including the half-dollar, received new designs to commemorate the occasion. This year marked the first time in history that the Kennedy half-dollar featured a reverse design different from the traditional Great Seal of the United States. Instead, a special reverse was created to reflect the bicentennial. The new reverse design showcased a colonial drummer, symbolizing the revolutionary spirit of 1776, with a banner that read 200 Years of Liberty. This special reverse was only used for the 1975 and 1976 half-dollar coins, making them particularly unique in the larger series of Kennedy half-dollars. As for the obverse, the iconic bust of President Kennedy remained unchanged, a poignant reminder of the late president's enduring legacy. The coin's design was a perfect balance of history, artistry, and patriotism, capturing both the bicentennial celebrations and the profound memory of President Kennedy in one compact coin. The minting of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar was also noteworthy due to the production of both copper-nickel-clad and 40% silver coins. The majority of the coins that were produced for circulation were made of the copper-nickel-clad metal, which was a more cost-effective alternative for regular circulation. However, special proof coins and uncirculated coins, which were sold directly to collectors, were made of 40% silver, adding to their rarity and collectible appeal. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar was minted in large numbers, with millions of coins struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. While this might suggest that the coin is common, collectors soon realized that the 1976 edition, with its bicentennial design and dual metal composition, had significant appeal. The coin quickly became a staple for numismatists and collectors, especially those interested in the Kennedy series, the bicentennial, and American history. For collectors, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar represents more than just a coin. It's a tangible link to a moment in time when America looked back at its past while looking forward to its future. The bicentennial celebrations were a moment of reflection, a time to recognize the achievements and struggles that had shaped the nation over the previous 2 centuries. The coin, with its dual celebration of Kennedy's legacy and America's independence, encapsulates the spirit of 1976 and continues to capture the attention of collectors around the world. But what makes the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar stand out from other coins, particularly in terms of its collector value? There are several factors at play here. First, the historical context of the coin is incredibly important. The combination of Kennedy's legacy and the bicentennial theme makes this coin highly symbolic, and collectors are drawn to its dual significance. The fact that the coin was minted in large numbers means that there are plenty of examples in circulation, but not all of them are in the same condition. Coins that have been well preserved and that have been graded highly by professional numismatists can fetch much higher prices than their face value. One of the key factors influencing the coin's value is its condition. Coins that have been carefully stored and preserved in mint or near mint condition, with no visible signs of wear, discoloration, or scratches, are highly sought after by collectors. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, especially those produced in 40% silver, can be incredibly valuable in the right condition. In fact, some of the finest examples of this coin have sold for staggering amounts. A particularly rare and well-preserved 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, which has received a high grade from a professional grading service, can be worth up to $172,000. How can a coin that was minted in the millions be worth such an extraordinary sum? It all comes down to rarity and condition. Even though the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in vast quantities, there are a number of factors that contribute to its exceptional value in the market. First, the silver versions of the coin, as opposed to the copper-nickel-clad coins, are inherently rarer, and those that are in pristine condition are much harder to come by. The fact that very few have survived in such high-quality conditions contributes to their rarity and value. Additionally, the demand for rare and historically significant coins has only increased over time, driving up the value of certain examples. If you were fortunate enough to come across a well-preserved 1976 Kennedy half-dollar in your pocket change, it might be worth more than just 50 cents. While the vast majority of these coins will likely never reach such extraordinary values, collectors are always on the lookout for rare and pristine examples that could potentially be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar also represents a great opportunity for newer collectors looking to start a collection with a coin that is both historically significant and potentially valuable. The coin's bicentennial design adds an extra layer of appeal for those who appreciate the history behind it, and it's an excellent piece to own for anyone with an interest in American numismatics. For seasoned collectors, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar offers the chance to add a rare and valuable coin to their collection, especially if they can find an example in exceptional condition or one that has been certified by a professional grading service. In conclusion, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is far more than just a coin. It's a beautiful piece of American history, a symbol of both the bicentennial celebrations and the legacy of President John F. Kennedy. With its unique design, historical context, and collectible appeal, it's no wonder that this coin remains a sought-after treasure among collectors. Whether you're just beginning your numismatic journey or you're an experienced collector, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar has a place in your collection. And for those who are lucky enough to find a particularly rare example, there's always the chance that it could be worth far more than its face value, possibly even up to $172,000. So, the next time you come across a 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to examine it closely. It could very well be a piece of history that holds far more value than you ever imagined. After all, coins like these have a way of surprising us, reminding us that history is often much closer than we think, and that sometimes, what seems like just a small piece of metal can turn out to be a treasure. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar coin is not just a piece of American currency, it is a symbol of the nation's continuing evolution, reflecting both the legacy of President John F. Kennedy and the changing landscape of the U.S. Mint. When we look at this coin, we're not merely admiring a small piece of metal. We're connecting with the history, artistry, and the cultural milestones of the 20th century. To fully appreciate the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, we must first take a step back in time to understand the circumstances that led to its creation, the design choices that made it so distinctive, and why it holds such significant value today. The story of the Kennedy half-dollar begins in the early 1960s, during a time of national mourning. When President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963, the country was shaken to its core. Kennedy's presidency had brought a sense of optimism and hope to the American people, and his tragic death left an undeniable void. To honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint introduced the Kennedy half-dollar in 1964, 1 year after the assassination. The decision to create the coin was part of a larger effort to memorialize Kennedy, and it was meant to be a tangible reminder of his leadership and vision for America. The design of the original Kennedy half-dollar was created by Gilroy Roberts, who had been the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The obverse, front, of the coin featured a left-facing bust of Kennedy, looking dignified and composed. On the reverse, back, the coin displayed a modified version of the Great Seal of the United States, with an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing the nation's commitment to peace and defense. This design was meant to reflect Kennedy's ideals, the sense of optimism he inspired, and the values that he stood for during his presidency. For more than a decade, the Kennedy half-dollar was produced with a 90% silver content. This high silver content reflected the metal's value at the time, but as the price of silver began to rise, the U.S. Mint made adjustments to the composition of the coin. By 1965, the Kennedy half-dollar's composition was changed to 40% silver and 60% copper to reduce the cost of production. This change continued through the years, and by the time the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar was minted, the coin was still made with 40% silver but continued to be part of a shifting numismatic world. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar was a part of a series of coins that represented an era of change for the U.S. Mint. The United States was experiencing major transitions politically, socially, and economically. The 1970s were marked by the Vietnam War's aftermath, the Watergate scandal, and the era of Jimmy Carter's presidency. Yet, the Kennedy half-dollar maintained its place in circulation, serving as a reminder of a more hopeful time in American history, the era of Kennedy's presidency. As we moved into 1979, the coin continued to serve as both a tribute to Kennedy and as a piece of currency with practical value. but what makes the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar stand out among the countless other coins minted in that era? The answer lies in the coin's design, its production details, and the way it connects with the history of the late 20th century. The design of the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, like all of the coins in the series, kept Kennedy's image on the obverse. The image on the obverse of the 1979 coin, just as in earlier years, was a left-facing portrait of Kennedy, striking and dignified as ever. However, the reverse design remained the same as it had been since 1964, featuring the Great Seal of the United States. What distinguishes the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, aside from the normal flow of production, is its collector appeal. It's important to note that 1979 wasn't a special commemorative year like the bicentennial in 1976, but it still carries a particular appeal because of its position within the Kennedy series. By this time, the coin had become synonymous with both the Kennedy legacy and the U.S. Mint's evolving relationship with American numismatics. It was also during this time that the U.S. Mint began to experiment with the coin's packaging and the ways in which it was marketed to collectors. For example, in addition to regular circulation coins, there were proof sets and uncirculated coins made available to the public, catering to collectors who were interested in acquiring coins in pristine, never circulated condition. So, why is the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar worth discussing today, decades after it was minted? The answer lies in its collector value. Although millions of these coins were produced and widely circulated, certain versions of the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar have become incredibly valuable in the numismatic market. As with all coins, the condition of the piece is a critical factor in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, graded highly by professional numismatists, and remain free from any signs of wear are much more valuable than their counterparts that have been circulated in everyday transactions. One of the most coveted versions of the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is the proof coin. Proof coins are struck with greater care and detail than regular circulation coins, and they often feature a mirrored finish that enhances the details of the design. Proof coins from the 1979 mintage were made with 40% silver, and they were sold to collectors through special sets offered by the U.S. Mint. These coins were intended for those who appreciated the artistry and history behind the coin and who sought to preserve them in pristine condition. Now, let's fast forward to today. While the vast majority of 1979 Kennedy half-dollars will likely never exceed their face value of 50 cents, a select few have fetched stunning prices in the market. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, particularly the proof coins that were well preserved and graded highly, has seen a remarkable increase in value over time. Some of the highest graded examples of this coin are valued at up to $166,000. That's right. One single coin, worth just 50 cents when it was minted, could potentially fetch over $160,000 on the open market. How did this coin, originally struck for circulation, reach such astronomical values? The answer is a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. While millions of these coins were made, only a tiny fraction of them have remained in perfect, or near perfect, condition. Coins that have been certified by professional grading organizations and given high grades are in much greater demand among collectors. The rarity of these coins in such exceptional condition drives up the price, and the historical significance of the Kennedy half-dollar series only adds to the allure. For collectors, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin, it's a piece of American history, a symbol of an era, and a potential investment. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone beginning to explore the world of coin collecting, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is an excellent piece to add to your collection. Even if you don't have access to a $166,000 example, finding a well-preserved 1979 Kennedy half-dollar can still be a rewarding experience. The 1979 coin, with its connection to both Kennedy's legacy and the broader cultural shifts of the late 20th century, is a reminder that even seemingly ordinary objects can carry immense value over time. Coins like the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar demonstrate how history and culture can intersect in unexpected ways, creating treasures that are much more valuable than the metal they're made of. In conclusion, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is a remarkable coin with deep historical roots, artistic design, and incredible collector appeal. Though it was produced in large quantities and circulated widely, certain rare and well-preserved examples have become highly sought after in the numismatic world. For collectors and enthusiasts, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is not just a coin, it's a key to unlocking a deeper understanding of American history and a potential investment that could yield impressive returns. Whether you're just starting out in coin collecting or are looking for a rare piece to add to your collection, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar offers both historical significance and the potential for a surprising financial windfall. So, the next time you come across one of these coins, take a moment to examine it closely. It might just be worth more than you ever expected. After all, history has a way of surprising us. The 2021 Kennedy half-dollar coin is a modern example of a classic piece of American numismatic history. It's a coin that has seen the evolution of the nation, from the tragic assassination of a beloved president to the ongoing legacy of his influence in American society. With its enduring design, rich history, and continuing appeal to collectors, the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a testament to the lasting impact of President John F. Kennedy and the remarkable tradition of American coinage. To understand the significance of the 2021 version of the Kennedy half-dollar, we need to look back at how this coin came into existence. The story begins in 1963, when President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated. The nation was left in mourning, but out of that grief came a strong desire to honor his legacy. In 1964, the U.S. Mint introduced a new coin, the Kennedy half-dollar. The design was chosen to serve as a tribute to Kennedy's leadership and vision for the United States. Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time, designed the coin, depicting a left-facing bust of President Kennedy on the obverse. The reverse featured the Great Seal of the United States, symbolizing the nation's strength and commitment to peace. At the time of its introduction, the Kennedy half-dollar was made with 90% silver, which was reflective of the high value of silver in the mid-20th century. But as silver prices rose, the U.S. Mint began adjusting the composition of the coin, ultimately settling on a 40% silver content for most of the subsequent years. The Kennedy half-dollar would go on to become a lasting symbol, commemorating Kennedy's legacy for decades, even as it evolved in its design and composition to reflect the changing times. Fast forward to 2021. The Kennedy half-dollar, by this point, was no longer part of regular circulation, as other denominations took over as the primary coins in circulation. But the Kennedy half-dollar still remained a fixture in the hearts of collectors, historians, and those who appreciated its rich symbolism and design. The 2021 version of the coin was part of the ongoing tradition of honoring the 35th President of the United States. It continued to feature the iconic bust of Kennedy on the obverse, though the coin's composition and minting details had evolved over time. In 2021, the Kennedy half-dollar was primarily struck in a composition of 90% copper and 10% nickel, though special editions of the coin, such as proof coins, were made with higher quality finishes and sometimes even included 40% silver. These coins were not intended for circulation, but rather for collectors and those interested in preserving a piece of American history. The 2021 coin was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver Mint facilities, and as with all modern coins, it was available in different variations. These included the regular coin for circulation, as well as proof coins, which were specially created with a high degree of detail and mirror-like finishes, making them highly attractive to collectors. The design of the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar remained largely unchanged from previous years. The obverse of the coin featured the iconic profile of President Kennedy, facing left, as created by Gilroy Roberts. The design aimed to capture Kennedy's youthfulness, vigor, and leadership, even though more than half a century had passed since his untimely death. On the reverse, the coin still featured the eagle from the Great Seal of the United States, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, representing peace and strength. While the design stayed familiar, the world around the coin was drastically different. The 2021 Kennedy half-dollar was minted during a time of uncertainty. The country was still grappling with the ongoing effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, social and political divisions, and a rapidly changing world. Yet, in a way, the coin remained a constant, serving as a reminder of a more hopeful time in American history, the presidency of John F. Kennedy. For collectors, the 2021 coin wasn't just a piece of metal, it was a way of connecting with the past while living through the present. For collectors of modern coins, the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar is particularly appealing. While Kennedy's face has graced the half-dollar for nearly 6 decades, the coin's annual release always holds some level of excitement. The 2021 version was part of a special moment in time, given the ongoing legacy of Kennedy's memory and the coin's place in the history of American numismatics. Though it may not be as iconic as earlier releases or as rare as coins from specific years, the 2021 coin still has a certain appeal for those looking to add it to their collections. What sets the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar apart from other coins in the series, and why is it so appealing to collectors? The answer lies in the coin's blend of tradition and modernity. The Kennedy half-dollar is one of the few coins in the U.S. Mint's regular series that has maintained its original design over such a long period of time. Unlike many other coins that are redesigned or updated regularly, the Kennedy half-dollar has retained the same basic image of President Kennedy for decades. This consistency makes the coin special, especially for those who appreciate the tradition and continuity it represents. Furthermore, the 2021 coin is part of a much smaller group of Kennedy half-dollars that are no longer minted for general circulation. In the past, half-dollars were regularly used in daily transactions, but today, the Kennedy half-dollar is primarily collected in limited quantities. The coin's mintages have dwindled over the years, and as a result, the 2021 version, while still widely available, is becoming more of a niche collectible for those interested in the Kennedy series and modern U.S. coinage. Another reason why the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar has become so attractive to collectors is due to its high-quality production. The proof coins minted that year, with their shiny, mirror-like finishes, are particularly desirable. These coins are often sold in sets or as individual pieces, and they can fetch premium prices, especially if they are well preserved. The proof coins of the 2021 series are often sought after because they represent the pinnacle of coin design and minting. Collectors appreciate their flawless appearance, the crisp detail of the design, and the historical significance they carry. Now, you might be wondering, what is the value of the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar? Given that millions of these coins were minted, many might assume that they would hold little value beyond their face value of 50 cents. However, like many coins, the true value of the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar comes from its rarity and the condition in which it is found. While most examples of the 2021 coin might only be worth their face value, the more pristine, well-preserved, and graded examples have seen significant increases in value. The 2021 proof coins, for example, have sold for much higher prices than the regular circulation coins, and a rare, well-graded proof coin could fetch prices as high as $132,000 on the market. This stunning figure is not the price for every 2021 Kennedy half-dollar, of course. The vast majority of these coins will never reach such lofty heights, but the fact that a select few can command such prices shows just how valuable the coin can be. The value is determined by a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and demand. If a coin has been preserved in perfect condition, with minimal signs of wear, and has been certified by professional numismatists, its value will soar. As with all coins, the rarer and more pristine the example, the more it can potentially be worth to collectors. The $132,000 price tag is a reminder that even modern coins can hold significant value, particularly when they are part of a larger historical context. The Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin. It is a living piece of history that has continued to evolve and captivate people for over half a century. For collectors, owning a high-quality 2021 Kennedy half-dollar is like owning a piece of that history, a token of the lasting impact of President Kennedy's leadership. In conclusion, the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar is much more than a simple coin. It's a bridge between the past and the present, a symbol of American history, and a valuable asset for collectors. The coin's design, composition, and historical context make it an enduring symbol of President John F. Kennedy's legacy. While the 2021 version may not hold the same degree of rarity as some of the older coins in the series, it still represents a highly sought-after collectible. And who knows? You might just stumble upon a rare, well-preserved example worth far more than its face value, with the potential to fetch $132,000. So, the next time you come across a 2021 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to appreciate the history and value that it carries, because you never know what treasures might be hidden in plain sight.